Darren Carter, the party starter, and this is my buddy Brian Swinehart. We just performed at the comic strip in El Paso, Texas. And it was a great week, man. We were here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And a little bit about Brian. Get this, man. This kid was this kid. He's 45 years old now.
Hey, keep calling me kid.
He's kid.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He's 45 years old, and he wanted to be on the wrestling team, so he joined the wrestling team in high school.
No, college.
No, but you did. No, but you joined it in high school.
I was on the high school wrestling team,
Yeah.
for 4 years. Got my varsity letter each year, and held the, not bragging, but I held the record for most single season and career takedowns at the time.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Long story short, he graduated high school in
you don't think they care about that, Darren?
1998, and then years later, which is the year 2024, he just joined the college wrestling team. So he's 45 years old.
Yep.
He's out there wrestling, and how does this go? I've never gone live on YouTube, so I don't know how it works. If people can, hey, KCS, what's up? She says, yo. So people can write and talk. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, you'll see. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Just keep talking.
Yeah,
and they'll
all right.
say stuff to us.
Okay, I got you.
You know.
Yeah. Like on the other platforms, people are constantly like talking and chatting, and you know.
there
So,
we go.
hey, hope you guys are having a wonderful time in El Paso. Oh, thank
Yes,
you.
we are.
Thank you. Yes, we are.
KC.
Yeah. Hey, let's tell them a story. This is a good story, man. This is a good way to think about life.
You want to maybe
Tell them a story about maybe. Go ahead. You zoom up here a little bit.
Okay, so during the Civil War, there was this farmer, and he had this horse, and the horse was an excellent horse. This was like the best horse around. And then one day the horse runs away, and his farmer's neighbor comes over and he says, "Wow, it sure is a shame that your horse ran away." And the farmer said, "Maybe." The next day the horse comes back, but with 5 other horses. So now he's got this horse that he already had, plus another 5 horses. The neighbor comes over and says, "Wow, that's sure great that your horse came back with 5 other horses." The farmer said, "Maybe." Okay, the next day, the farmer's son goes out and he's trying to tame one of these horses, right? One of the 5 new horses. So he's jumping on this horse, he's riding it, he's trying to tame it, and the horse bucks him off, right? Breaks the kid's leg. You know, this 18-year-old kid breaks his leg. Neighbor comes over. "Man, it sure is a shame that your son got his leg broken." The old farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, the soldiers from the Civil War are looking for new guys, and they hear there's an 18-year-old kid that lives down there who's a good shot and knows how to ride a horse. So they go to the old farmer's house and they knock on the door to recruit the kid to make him go to war. But then they get there and they see that the kid's leg is broken and he's no good in war, so they leave. The old farmer comes over, the neighbor of the old farmer comes over and says, "Wow, it's really great that your son didn't have to go to war." And the old farmer goes, "Maybe."
Wow.
That's the end, because everything's a maybe. You don't know. You might think you're getting something good. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. You think something bad's happening to you. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, maybe it's not. Because it always kind of equals out. Everything kind of equals out at the end. So
That's a great point, man.
Yeah, you never know.
That is great.
Because how many times you think you got everything and then there's something, boom. You know, I had that happen once when I got in a car wreck, man. I thought I was on top of the world.
You got into a car wreck?
I was coming back from the Ice House Comedy Club in Pasadena, and I had a great set, and I was going to meet these couple girls at the nightclub, and I was driving fast, listening to AC/DC, and boom, flipped my car. So, you know, you never know. I thought you were going good. I've had bad things happen to me, and they turned out to be not so bad. So, or other things happen because of them. So you don't know what God's plan is. So we get too wrapped up in that, but maybe it's bad, maybe it's good. You never know. So that's the maybe story.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about weird places that we've lived. You know, I had this, there was a time that I lived in San Diego when I was about 23 years old, and I lived in a Victorian house with different rooms in it, and you could rent the rooms. So they were like little apartments, and you shared like a common kitchen. And I think the rent was $300, but the landlady, she said, if you rake the leaves in the front yard, I'll knock off $25. And that was kind of a cool, Like I remember, like when I was like I wanted the rent to be lowered, I'd be out there shaking the tree, like, "Come on, big money!"
And they say money don't grow on trees.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be out there getting the fake leaves, sprinkling them on the yard. Hobby Lobby, But yeah, that was one of the strangest places I lived. I look back and it was great because the rent was pretty cheap to live in San Diego, California. But now I wouldn't live. I wouldn't want to live in that neighborhood and like that. And you were telling me earlier you lived in a crazy place in L.A.
Yeah, first off, KCS, thanks for that nice comment.
Oh, hey, all right, Casey.
Yeah, so I lived in Pasadena, California moved to California when I was 19, and I rented a attic from I lived in a lady's attic, above her house.
You lived in an attic?
In an attic, yeah. And not an attic, an attic. How did attic?
Attic. Yeah.
Attic.
Yeah.
I lived in an attic.
In an A-frame house.
A-frame house.
That's
attic.
right, like an A-frame house, like you see out in the woods.
Yeah, and it was $300 a month. August for free because it got so hot. So it was.
Dang.
Yeah, man. So it was pretty wild, but I got a good deal, and I learned a lot from that old lady, and it all worked out. So you never know. Sometimes, and if I weren't for her and living there, I wouldn't have had all the stuff I did in California. I would have been having to pay for an expensive place. I probably would have moved back in a couple months.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't have money back then when you're 19 years old, or 45. So
What was it like working with Matthew McConaughey?
It was all right.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. That's really cool. Any advice he ever give you?
Yeah, he said. One thing he said is, one in the hand's better than two in the bush. He gave me that advice. And then when he talked about women, he said, you got to approach. You got to approach. You see a beautiful woman, you got to approach.
And you do. You're writing a book. He's writing a book, and it's either going to be a romance novel or an erotic book, right?
I think we should call it an erotic novel. I think that's
erotic novel.
A novel, yeah, it's a novel.
Yeah, that's hilarious. An erotic novel.
Yeah.
Erotic, but make it family friendly.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I could do that. A family-friendly erotic novel.
You'll be one of the
so
first.
We were holding hands underneath the
pier by the ocean.
Yeah.
And, are you gonna have Fabio on the front cover?
Yeah, Fabio will be me then. I'll be playing the role of me. I once saw him at Mel's Diner in Los Angeles.
Oh, you did?
Late at night after the nightclubs were closing one night. That's a wild city, dude.
It's wild, right?
It's a crazy place.
Like the people you would just run into or see driving by, and it's just because you see them in strange places. You're like, what? That you don't expect to see just a random
but then
famous person.
People have to go eat out.
Yeah.
It was like 2:00 in the morning, and there's freaking Fabio. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude.
Oh yeah, you know who I saw there? I saw what's the baseball player that was accused of taking the steroids?
Jose Canseco.
Yes.
Wow.
I was actually eating dinner. You mentioned his name earlier with Adam Hunter, and Adam made a joke. He goes, I want to buy him an OJ and be like, hey, this guy over here sends you the juice.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Casey left a comment. I love you guys. 2025 is going to be the year I meet y'all. That's right. Thank you for making my birthday so special yesterday. Thanks for the shout out on your podcast. You're welcome. Yeah. Guys, the podcast is called Pocket Party, and there's 303 episodes. We got a new one coming out this week, and it was Casey's birthday, and we wished her a happy birthday, and we like when people listen to the podcast, and hopefully they get something out of it. It makes their day a little brighter. And if you haven't checked out an episode, please do. Like I said, 303 episodes. And I'm hoping to get down to Beaumont, Texas, and Houston, Texas. I'm a big country music fan. And George Jones, I just saw a picture of George Jones playing music in Beaumont, Texas when he was a little boy.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
He was what do they call it when you're like a street performer, a busker? You're a busker. Have you ever street performed, Brian?
Well, not really. I don't think not really. But I once dressed up as an apple to sell some stuff for this store.
For Apple? For the Apple products?
Well, not for Apple products, but it was a health store on Wilshire Boulevard. And somehow or another, I got a job dressed as an apple. And every day I saw Ryan Sickler, and he was working at this other building.
He's a comedian, Ryan Sickler.
Yeah. But I didn't know. I knew him. I knew who he was, but I hadn't met him yet. And he didn't know who I was. Plus, I was dressed as an apple. And every day he would walk down and go, "What up, Apple?" And then years later, we became friends. And I said, "Hey, do you remember there was a guy dressed as an apple below on Wilshire Boulevard? And every day he'd walk by and go, 'What up, Apple?'" I said, "I was that apple," and he started cracking
Wow.
up. He started.
That's
cracking
hilarious.
up. Yeah.
Little did you know you were rotten to the core.
Yeah.
That's funny, right?
Yeah.
What if someone just picked you up and took you to the teacher? You know, hey, Apple. No. That's a funny job, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was fun, man.
Nice.
So, anyways, but Dion, what time is it?
Yeah,
I need
we're
to
gonna-
get packed up and go to bed.
Casey,
brother.
it's all good, man. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Everybody watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. And I gotta pack and get out of here. But you guys, thanks again. Safe travels to you. Have a great week. It's Sunday night. God bless you on the week ahead, and thanks for checking out my channel here on YouTube and my Instagram and everything else. And
see you on the next
the new Pocket Party podcast will be dropping. I like my women like my elevators going up and down, but with the weight limit. Hey, my buddy, you know him too, Johnny Sanchez. He got stuck on an elevator today. I saw him post.
Oh man.
Yeah, for about an hour. Yeah, can you imagine?
That'd be scary as shit.
I know. He said he's claustrophobic. Imagine, Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. But
Dang.
he's okay. We're okay. Thank you guys. My first time, really, in a long time, going live on YouTube, and it's pretty cool. All right, guys. Have a great day. See ya.